How did South Korea break into every house in the world? From a landfill and an illiterate people who cannot read or write to the fourth strongest economy in Asia. Its rise has turned waste dumps into parks, and its people have the best education system in the world. This all happened in a country called South Korea. By the end of the Second World War in 1945, Korea became independent after 35 years of Japanese occupation. The communists and capitalists divided the peninsula into two zones of influence. South Korea was born to be weak and was ranked one of the poorest countries in the world. It didn't have significant natural resources. There were no good education system. South Korean women were selling their soft hair as a wig to others so that their children would not starve to death. And 19% of the residents lived on US aids. It was then South Korean President Lee Sung-man. He made two revolutions, the first in agrarian reform and the second in education. Higher education enrollment has increased tenfold. 96% of children go to school, and in the late 1950s, Korea had a learned workforce. In 1961, a military coup led by Park Chung-hee took South Korea from poverty to wealth. Park established an economic planning council, backed nations, and encouraged medium industries to increase exports as part of a 5-year plan. The goal was to achieve economic growth at a rate of 7.1% between 1962 and 1966, and Americans mocked the number, considering it as crazy dreams. Indeed, the growth exceeded 8.9% and surprised everyone. Park's interest was to turn the country into an industrialized one competing with North Korea. So he normalized relations with Japan in 1965 with the goal of doing what the Japanese did, but at a cheaper cost and with less time. Just 2 years later, the first South Korean Hyundai brand was launched along with Daewoo. In the late 1960s, Samsung became the best TV manufacturer worldwide. Park remained in power after 3 presidential terms, and he launched a heavy industrialization program, with which South Korea transformed within 10 years the world's largest steel-making complex and the motherland of the second largest shipbuilding company on earth. President Park Chung was assassinated in late 1979, and a military coup led by Chun Doo-hwan occurred, which led to an economic decline of 6% and inflation of 44%. But the economic growth returned under authoritarian military rule. It reached its highest rate in the world at the time, between 1986 and 1988. In 1997, an economic crisis struck Asian countries, forcing Korea to borrow $58 billion from the World Bank, and it seemed that everything would collapse. The Koreans took to the streets to donate their gold and collect billions for their country. The sacrifice was not only individual. The small companies sacrificed themselves too and merged with the steadfast big one, so that not everyone collapses. Within 3 years, South Korea paid off the World Bank loan, and its foreign export earnings jumped to $99 billion in 2001. Competing cars and mobile phones, all kinds of modern technology, and manufacture ships and heavy weapons, occupying first place with patents annually. Its economy adds between 180 to 300,000 jobs every year, and exports are estimated at $560 billion a year, which made it enter every home in the world, especially in the field of electronics. What is your opinion about the growth of South Korea? Tell us in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the bell button to get all new.